right, I guess we are live, right? Showing up live on your end? Yep. All right, Trevor and I are back for Sunday Night Vinyl Confessions, hopping on here about 30 seconds early because we are so excited because we got Richard S., formerly Richard S., but now Richard's Vinyl Taphouse, one of the better name conversions in the VC ever.
Yeah.
That was a great name change. Everybody had, I know I saw a lot of comments on everybody saying that's a great name. So,
So what is on tap?
Yes.
and so Richard, we decided, and we were talking about it a little bit. Here's Marcia. How you doing, Marcia?
Marcia.
Um,
Hey, hello.
we were talking about it a little backstage before we came on here. That Trevor and I thought, you know what? Trevor and I might like this format because we don't have to do any homework. We're not pulling out any records, don't have anything to put back. The guest does all the legwork. We just sit here,
We're just gonna coast.
questions, and be entertained. Oh, here's Chris. How you doing, Chris? Oh, Chris is staying up late.
Hey, Chris. Good to see you.
So we're just going to focus on pretty much one artist tonight. Is it safe to assume this is your favorite artist of all time?
Yeah. I would say number one. The number two is damn close, but yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Sean is here. Okay.
Hey, Sean.
Right. Are we going to get just a lot? I don't know. Gary Numan does not fall under indie rock, correct?
Probably not.
Does he fall under the dreaded post-punk?
Now, I would just say he just kind of goes through. He's gone through different eras, so it's like from synth pop and new wave to goth to industrial to kind of what he's doing now. So yeah, multi-genre.
Mark is here.
Hey, Mark.
Also, Mark with the exceptional new icon there.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So, all right. So, take us off on your journey, Richard, to Gary Numan land. How did this happen?
How did this happen? What a great question, because I don't know if it's actually one answer to that. All I know is that I think it was my sister had heard Cars, and she had the 7-inch single of Cars.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, that's a really cool song. I want that. My sister and I competed a lot when we were growing up. So it's like, if she bought the Queen album, I wanted the Queen album too. Anyway, but I remember, like, this is 1979. So I was, 14 going on 15-ish. And I was in my Kiss phase and kind of, what else is out there? And I was starting to figure out more about music. And I was into Styx and Kiss and a lot of guitar bands. And for some reason, Cars just clicked with me. And then I remember if the older of us will remember the Night Flight show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yep. USA Network.
Yep.
So one of the things that came up on that was Newman's Down in the Park thing, where he's live, he's on stage driving the little car around. And that was some of my early exposure. But then I think it was around the time that he did Saturday Night Live too, where he did Cars and then he did Praying to the Aliens. By that time, I think I had already bought my first Newman album. And I could tell you what that was. Any guesses?
Principles of Pleasure, or the Pleasure Principle.
Pleasure Principle. Is that right? So yeah, it's Pleasure Principle. This has Cars on it. A couple of other singles that came off this is like Metal and Complex were singles. I don't know if they were singles in the States, but they were definitely singles in England. And I've absolutely fell in love with the sort of frosty, dark, robotic, they call it machine music in kind of the early Newman days, being machine music. And it was this sort of cold, isolated, dense sound of synths and this nasally guy who can barely sing doing his thing. And I just loved it. It was just like, it was started out, oh, I love cars, and then it was, you know how you listen to an album over and over again, and you start, wow, I like this song, this song. It became to the point where I just loved every single thing off of this. So this came out in 1980,
September 7th,
79.
1979.
79. So this came out in 79. The album Replicas came out just before that, and I don't think it got issued in America until after The Pleasure Principle came out. So this became my second foray into Numan. It's like, all right, I really like all these songs off of Pleasure Principle. What's this all about? And this one has Our Friends Electric on it. So, and if anyone saw the live stream I did earlier, I was talking about favorite songs. Our Friends Electric is probably singly my favorite Gary Numan song, just because of what it kind of represents everything about Numan you could possibly imagine. The synth, the big fat, Moog synthesizer sound, his voice, his backup band, the really just cold and stark. And it's science fiction and storytelling, and this whole album is kind of a based on like what's the author that did Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? It was kind of loosely based on that.
Yeah.
So we had the Gray Men and the Park, and Down in the Park is on this album too. So everything on the cover is kind of represented in the album. The bare bedroom with the light, and the man standing outside with the gray coat, cigarette, all this. And it's imagery, and it's isolation and imagery, I guess, would be the way I would describe it more than anything. I just love that cold, frosty feeling. It's very robotic. Android, metal, machine music. So these were the first two that I really got into. And to this day, those two, this is probably one of my absolute favorite. If I said anyone gets into Gary Numan, this is where you go. This album is solid. Pleasure Principle is another one I'll talk about more in a minute. But
right. Let me catch up with comments here.
Do it.
Here we go. Chris, Richard.
I beg to differ, but okay.
Hey, Mickey.
Twanger saying hi to Mickey. Dan is here.
Hey, Dan. Good to see you.
Mickey saying hi to Mark. Hi to Dan. Dan is saying hi to Mickey. Not so much a channel. More a way of life. I know the name. I'm not sure if I'm subscribed.
Yeah.
Twanger must be doing her backstage prayers and encouragements. Maybe a blast before go time.
Wait, sounds like MGK.
Oh wow, Brian's here. How you doing, Brian?
Brian, hey man, good to see you.
How much? I wonder how much Alex is into Gary Numan.
Alex, good to see you.
I don't know. Gary, Alex is into everything. It's
Gary Numan is a friend of. Oh yeah, there's no denying Gary Newman, a friend of My God.
So true.
They got the same goddamn haircut, don't they?
Yeah, but you're not gonna. Hey, you're not gonna see Gary Numan in a John Cale Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. All right. Numanoids, is that what they are known as, Richard? Are you numanoid?
They are known as numanoids.
All right, look at Twanger knows his shit.
Identify as a numanoid.
Is Chris coming out for the VC meetup?
He's been talking about coming over to Canada and hanging out with different folks, and hopefully
not for the MGK bash.
Well, I mean, it's doable because that's like what.
I mean, those guys. Yeah, those guys should just get a hop on a Concorde. David Atkinson and Rob Walker. And,
because that's what I was saying. Like David, he went over to Toronto for a few days, and then they all came down, all at once. So
Well, Alex does not own any Gary Numan.
I own a CD, like a best of, I don't know, greatest hits.
So there you go.
There you go.
I bought this when it came out, solely based on cars. And I have to admit, I've played this album. What is that? This album's 46 years old, right? I know I haven't played it 46 times.
Yeah. Go to the spreadsheet.
Yeah. I'm guessing I've played it 10. I'm guessing I've played it about maybe 10 times, but I'm becoming a bigger Gary Numan fan, as Richard knows.
Yeah, well, I mean, and Richard
take
is
full
the
responsibility.
catalyst of that too. I mean, I've piqued interest into it. I mean, I know. Well, I guess we'll get into it later. But quick question: so those two albums, Replica and Pleasure Principle, would those be kind of the groundwork for what would? I know industrial already existed with like bands like Throbbing Gristle and New Boughton and stuff like that, even though New Boughton doesn't like the term industrial. But
Right.
but Gary Numan was kind of like the groundwork of what would become in the mid 80s into the late 80s what would be known as industrial, like with your Skinny Puppies and Ministry and even Nine Inch Nails to a point.
Yes and no. I would say more that Newman is more. They call him the godfather of synth pop. So just synth music in general. Although it precedes him by many years, in my opinion.
Can you top that, Richard?
Your ringtone of cars. That hello.
Right.
Okay. Mark says he digs most. Okay. Alex, I don't know how you could have confused the two, but
that's a problem. Wow.
Here in my what you talking about?
What you talking about, Newman?
Right.
So, all right. So there we are. And that's got to be his commercial peak, right? The Pleasure Principle, right? That's got to be his best-selling album. Oh yeah, in UK, it hit number 1. Okay.
UK hit number 1. His next several albums did really well too, but I need to backtrack before I go forward.
Yeah, US it hit 16. Okay, so now the next album, Telecon. I'm assuming you have that.
Oh wait, no, because my third album was actually going backwards to his very first album.
Two Boy Army. Okay.
So the Two Boy Army stuff was Newman trying to get a record contract, and at the time everybody was just signing punk bands left and right. Okay. So this is a very punky guitar, crunchy. I can't even describe it. It's not like Sex Pistols. It's not raucous. It's still very calculated. But it's this is what this album sounds like, pretty much. So yeah, he was there was a fourth guy in here too, because he had a drummer. But it's very crunchy guitar. The songs are kind of loose. They're not really well put together, but there's some classics on this. This has Listen to the Sirens and Friends, which became a later one of the more industrial songs. Go figure. The Dream Police, Joe the Waiter is a classic because he still plays it. He played it on that live album that you have, Steve. So go figure. All right.
So we move on to Telecon now. This also goes number 1 in the UK, but drops all the way to 64 in the US.
Yes, and for the longest time, this is my favorite.
I've come across that in the bins.
Yeah. And this is, I would say, relatively easy to find some of Newman's stuff. Other times you find it used and you're like, you want how much for this? Because it's like, $20-$30 for a used album now, because although they're doing represses. Telecon is one of my favorites just because the synths got really big on this album, and the songs, it's all lyrics, nothing interesting there. The songs became more they started to get more personal because this was a time when he was already just overstimulated by the media and the fame and the touring and people hounding him and bugging him and all of that. And it showed in some of the lyrics that came up in this album where just like, just leave me alone, just back off. So yeah, it was an interesting time, but I love that album too.
All right, so let's catch up here. We got 10. That's
Sure.
channel. I always thought it was hilarious that Gary Numan is older than Gary Oldman.
But
Oh, that's
Very
good.
good. That is nicely played. I like that. Here's Chris. He's talking about coming over. There you go. He's gonna hop on a plane with David Atkinson.
Let's get that on a shirt. So,
There's Twanger. Most Newman was my intention there. Hit enter instead of space. It's a new thing. Okay. Twanger, Kublai Army were so ahead of the curve. My older brother would play his repeatedly. MGK Boston, he enjoys it with a blast. MGK Boston enjoys taking out the garbage with a blast. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Steve has heard of Skinny Puppy, so I know he heard of Skinny Puppy, but you probably haven't heard Skinny Puppy.
I know
Skinny.
Skinny Puppy. What is Skinny Puppy? Are they post-punk Skinny Puppy?
Well, they're known in the industrial world, but I mean their first record, I'm sure Richard's familiar with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I love
so,
Skinny Puppy.
so Remission would be probably in the same lane as a lot of the early Gary Numan stuff.
Okay.
But the vocals are much more harsh.
Yeah, a little different.
Okay, Twanger says he's got fat fingers, basically. Okay, Mark. All right.
Suffer that sometimes.
I believe we're caught up, Richard. So where do we go from here?
Okay, we go to the first live album. It's called Living Ornaments.
We're skipping. Are you going to show all 20? This guy's got 29 official live albums.
No, I'm not showing them.
Oh, okay.
Show the highlight.
I have a plan here. So, right. So, first live album, which is really just a synthesis of the first two albums live. And I can't remember if there's any songs from Telecon on here. I think there are.
What year is this?
I think this is 81-ish.
Oh, wow.
What's the name of it?
So I remember I did not buy this when it first came out because I could not afford it. It was like, back a poor 16, 17-year-old. This was pricey because it was an import. It wasn't released in the States. So it took years to get that.
Where do we go?
Okay, now we go to Newman's most polarizing album. This is Dance. This came out in 82, I believe.
81.
81. That was close.
September 4th.
This is a weird album because it's very ambient, synth, sparse, huge. I mean, long songs are like 7 and 9 minute songs on here, and then side 2 is a little bit more concise. One single off of this, if I remember right, it's called She's Got Claws, and it's nothing. It's like Newman trying to get away from his Cars image. And he spends so much of the rest of his career trying to get away from his Cars image. And it eventually happened. It did not happen here. But good album. Right, I like it. It was a grower.
Let's catch up here. Chris says, great show, got to run. Yeah, I know. It's very late. Thanks, Chris, for dropping by.
Thank you.
And Chris also says, have a great show. I'll catch up tomorrow. Yep. And Chris is commenting. What is this? Okay, that just repeated. Okay, and I know someone wants to know, how do you compare him to Thomas Dolby?
I like Thomas Dolby, but it's a very different animal, really. Especially how Dolby just really got more into production and I can't even describe it. She Blinded Me with Science is kind of like the tip of the iceberg with Dolby, where his later albums are much, much more interesting.
Okay.
But comparing him to Newman, different. Like it's kind of like comparing two things that don't really go together.
Is Sean lobbying to come on here as our guest and do a Thomas Dolby retrospect? I don't know. Okay. Now where do we go from dance, Richard?
We go to Warriors. This is the album I know about for years.
What happened to I Assassin? You don't like that, or you don't have it?
It's coming up after this. Do I have it? I do. I'll talk about both. Anyway, so Warriors was the one album I didn't even know about until well after I Assassin. Warriors never got released in the States. Don't know why. No lackluster sales on Dance or I Assassin. I don't know. Good album, but check out this imagery because he was in his kind of Blade Runner phase. So you had that sort of S&M weird leather look going on and blonde hair.
Hey, you know what? I just noticed here on this album, it shows he co-produced this with Bill Nelson. Is that Bill Nelson of Bebop Deluxe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And they did not get along at all.
Okay.
True story. Yeah. They wanted him, his label, it was Beggar's Banquet, wanted him to get an outside producer to do something different with the sound. It works on some levels, but Newman was just not happy. They just butted heads the entire time.
Well, Bill Nelson, very, very guitar-driven Bill Nelson. I can see where it won't work.
Yeah, and Newman was still in his synthy mood, if you will. It changes soon. Anyway, I Assassin. I like this one a lot. I like the sort of, that image. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But a couple of singles off of this one. White Boys and Heroes, one of my favorites off of this one. Music for Chameleons was strangely, I don't know why they released that as a single. Not the strongest song on here anyway. But We Take Mystery to Bed was almost a dance hit. Like one of those 12-inch singles that DJs would play on the dance floor. And it has a beat to it. It's really good. But again, didn't sell all that great. So you see Newman's yes. And then about this time, he got dropped from Beggar's Banquet and he decided to start his own record label.
I know.
And this was the first album off of that. So it was Berserker. Yeah. Good for you. And I love that remaster. It sounds so good. It's just punchy.
I just got it yesterday.
Okay, you'll love it. I like this album a lot. This was, for the longest time, one of my favorite albums. Don't like the blue hair, white outfit look, white face thing, but it went over okay. Title track is huge on this one. Child with a Ghost was written for, I think it was Jess Gardner, was one of his band members who had a drug overdose and died. So he did that song as a tribute. Still, he was using a different synth technique on that album that just changed the vibe. A lot more dancey, and that's the first album where he introduced female backup vocals, which work, but don't. There was a point where it became too much.
Kind of like Humble Pie.
Ooh, good comparison, dude.
Yeah, they did the same thing. And
another live album, White Noise. This is kind of a retrospective of all of his live stuff up to that point, including Berserker, and it's on that disc.
Yeah, that comes on here. Yep.
For sure. Chris Mann.
Yeah, it's repeated. I don't know. He must have clicked it like 3 or 4 times, and it's just popping up. I just wanted to get to the bottom so that anything below it is fresh.
You can't skip them? That's crazy.
Oh, I could, but I wanted to scroll down to the bottom. Yeah, so
I'll plot along here. My least favorite Numan image.
Oh, he's going Brian Ferry look there.
Wait, yeah, it's almost like a Sophistopop.
I call it his gambler at Monaco look.
Spandau Gary.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point he was kind of grasping at straws. The female background vocals are almost taking over, and they're doing more of the work than he is with a lot of these songs. It's not a bad album, but it doesn't rank.
You know what? Even the font on that looks like cheesy.
Yeah, it does. It is very cheesy. You know what I'm noticing here too, Richard, is as I'm because I keep clicking on his discography. Is he born in September? Because do you know? Okay, let me go through these.
I don't know.
Pleasure Principle, September 79. Telecon, September 1980. Dance, September 81. Assassin, September 82. Warrior, September 83.
No, he's a March baby.
Maybe it's like the first time. Maybe it's the first time he was on the autism spectrum. It's like I have to release an album in September.
I read that about him. His wife said maybe you suffer from Asperger's.
Yeah, she had a lot to do with it, and
maybe he's a big Earth, Wind, and Fire fan.
Well, having met Numan a few times, I don't really get a whole lot of spectrum-y thing about him, but I could be wrong. Strange Charm. It's okay.
He was lazy this year. This came out in October.
Or it was delayed or something. Stop me on comments in case I missed anything. But what should I skip to? I will skip to... Nope, I don't want to skip to that one yet. I want to talk about this one for a minute. New Anger. Similar vibe, but a little bit more. I call this, for lack of a better word, there are two albums that sound like Gary Numan doing Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation. This album...
Is that a live album?
No.
What year is that? What year is that? You're skipping over a lot here. What album is what year is that?
I've skipped around.
Which one?
Dude. What's in your... You have a better key on like what's next and what I missed.
Well, after The Fury shows Strange Charm. Oh, is that what that was? Strange Charm? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then you went to another one. What was the next one then?
With the black and white cover.
Yeah. What
black and white cover is New Anger.
Oh, here it's called Metal Rhythm. Is it called something
there
else?
There are two.
Okay.
Right.
US and the UK.
Hang on. Yes, Metal Rhythm in the UK, and they called it something else in the States, and I have that one too, but I didn't pull it. But yeah, slightly different track listing because he was signed with IRS here, and they changed it up a bit. He was not happy. Oh, we got a gatefold.
Well, you know what? He may not have been happy, but this came out in September.
That cover, that cover looks like it was photographed by like Anton Corbijn, who did a lot of work with U2 and Depeche Mode.
I was going to say, Depeche Mode. Yes.
With that frosty lighting overhead thing. Yeah. There's another album that does that too.
All right, Mark Morris is setting us straight here. Gary Numan was born in March 50.
Yep.
That's what I
Thanks,
thought.
Mark. Good seeing you, by the way.
Night, Marcia. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Marcia. Take care.
Anytime you want to come on and do a Duran Duran retrospective, Marcia, you are invited.
Yeah.
It is an open invitation. Twanger came on early. Twanger saying goodnight to Marcia. Okay, so where are we at now? What is this? September of what year now?
I think this is Outland. This is
Outland.
What are years I was like buried on here? 87?
91 Outland.
91. All right, whatever.
March 18th of 91. So this is like a birthday for him.
Strange.
Yeah.
I may have these slightly out of order, but so be it. This will be fun when I put these all back. I can actually put them back in the right order. I think I've had them that way. This is most definitely his most Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation because it even has little intervals with little synth blurbs that transition into the next song, which is still a dancey number with female background vocals. Are you seeing a pattern?
I just noticed here he's got Nick Bags on bass here on this album.
Yeah.
Nick Bags plays with Steven Wilson. If you're playing bass for Steven Wilson, you're a pretty damn good bassist.
Interesting.
I like how you're dropping Janet Jackson's name when he had an album called Pleasure Principle. The lines are just connecting here.
I know. It's crazy. This one I don't have on vinyl because it's almost impossible to find, and it's Machine and Soul, and there's that lighting again.
Mm.
This album is god awful.
Okay.
When is this?
And that's coming from Gary Numan's biggest fan.
This is not a good album.
Is it Kipper's fault?
I would blame Kipper. And did you know that Kipper played with Sting?
No, but
I'm
not surprised.
I saw Kipper on that tour because he played Sting solo. Anyway, yeah, Kipper was on this one for a couple of years and did not do a lot of favors trying to change the synth sound. It's pretty awful in my opinion. But then we get to the good.
How often would you say you go to that album? How often does that get a play?
I would not even stream this. It's there are a couple of songs that are like okay, but no, I'm not wasting my time. I would rather, instead of playing this, the man finally got his wife to sit down and talk to him. It's like, do what you do best. Do dark, do moody, do gloomy, and was born Sacrifice, which is one of my absolute favorite. I do have this on vinyl, but it's framed in the other room because I could find more. This is one of my favorite Newman albums, just because it starts that whole kind of industrial, doomy, gloomy. This is almost like a goth album to me. It's gorgeous. They're talking about remixing this one, and I kind of hope they do because it does sound kind of muddy, but it's really good album. All right, where are we in the scope of things here?
Well, you're October of '94. That was Sacrifice.
Okay. Long period of time goes by. We hear nothing from Camp Newman.
Yeah, we got a 3-year gap here.
There's a 3-year gap, and I think there's like live albums and a bunch of stuff and a box set that came out that pretty much just houses this and a bunch of others, the Numa years, if you will, on his own label. He dropped his own label. He finally got re-signed with, was it BMG? I think it was. No, here it was Eagle Records. But anyhow, and out came Exile. This came out late 96, 97-ish, I think, because I saw him in 97. Don't know. Anyway.
Yep. I think one of the Star Trek movies used that same font. And where it says Exile.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, Trevor. It does look very familiar. And I'm not
to me, it was like a throwing star away, but I love this one because it just starts that much darker edged 9-inch nailsy type sound. This is where that really kicks in, and the rest of his albums from here on out all have that kind of thump. And
are you buying all of these upon their release, or did you play catch up? Or
I bought all of them on release, either as imports or whatever. Back when it was cheaper to do so, which nowadays would be impossible. But like this didn't come out on vinyl for years and years, and when it finally did, I picked it up. But a lot of those, like Sacrifice, I do have an original vinyl, but I didn't buy it when it first came out because I was still in CD mode. But yeah,
so
eventually.
So with Exile, knowing my taste, would that be a good starting point to check out and then kind of go from 97 on?
Maybe.
Okay.
Let me have a think on that one. All right. Because this one has some.
I mean, I like all that late 70s, early 80s stuff, but I think I'll have to definitely check out Exile and all the ones after that.
Okay. I would actually say this next one would be better starting point than Exile.
Get
Okay.
another 3-year gap here.
Right. And this is Pure, Pure.
Okay.
Absolute banger. Very dark, very gloomy. He and his wife had lost their first child. She miscarried. And the song Prayer for the Unborn was written for that one. And it's very dark and very sad, obviously, but it's kind of a dark, I mean, quite a gloomy album, but it does have that dark edge to it. And it's kind of like the first couple of albums where Numan kind of picked up on that industrial thing where you kind of whisper a lot of lyrics and then the music comes smashing in.
Right.
That's this album. You would love this. I
Okay.
think. So Pure would be a great starting point. Show off the gatefold. Pretty cool.
Nice.
And a lot of these are reissued now, so they're findable, but they are not cheap, so I can say.
Well, what would be what's the price point on that one, say, on vinyl?
40s, if not higher. Yeah. I think it is a double album, but still, it's really technically one album because it came out on CD to start.
I like the album cover.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love this next one though, Trevor. This album is damn near impossible to find on vinyl right now, but I think you can get it on CD. But this would be an excellent starting point for anyone who wants to get into that more industrial one, and that's Splinter.
I looked for that the other day.
What?
I looked for that the other day because I know you've shown that, and at least on Amazon you couldn't get it on vinyl, and I think even the CD was ridiculously priced. I have to check this, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I got the fine too. I got this one signed in person. I was pleased, dead chuffed about that one. But I love this one. It has all of the elements of the industrial sound of Numan that I like the most. This album is 100% solid.
Okay.
So yeah. So Pure in this one. Splinter. We're getting into home stretch. Oh my god.
You skipped Jagged and Dead Sun Rising. Are those just ones you don't like, or?
Not that I don't like them. They just kind of continue on an exploration of going into that more industrial sound. It just doesn't succeed on a lot of levels.
Okay.
Jagged, I like Jagged because there's a song on it called it's either Jagged or Dead Sun Rising that has Halo on it, which is a beautiful song. And he does that one live, and I think it's on that live album that Steve has. Halo is probably one of my favorite later songs by him.
Halo is there. It's the third song.
Yeah, great song. I love that one. Every time he does that live, I'm just like going, "Your way, Halo," singing along. Anyway, I really questioned this image when it first came out, but his wife designed a lot of his costumes for this.
I like that album cover.
It's pretty cool. It's just kind of like you got to kind of like squint right to make sure it's Gary Numan. But this is Savage. It is kind of a continuation of Splinter in a lot of ways, but a very dystopian, post-apocalyptic kind of feel. So you can just see how he's just going down in darker and darker places. And love that one. This is the first album where one of his daughters actually sings on one of the songs, and it is My Name is Ruin.
Yeah, I mean, I see in the notes here, this is a concept album. So up to this point, how many albums were concept? Were any of them concept albums?
I would say this is probably the most concept one. I've always thought that Sacrifice could have been made into a movie just because it has this kind of running theme of about it had sort of a sci-fi vibe of the old mages sitting around fires talking about the doom that's coming, and then kind of over the sequence of things like you fall asleep, if you fall asleep, this thing is going to come and get you. It's going to make you bleed. Bleed's one of the songs on here. It's so
There you
good.
go. Twanger's a big fan of Savage.
Savage is a good one. Savage blew me away. There was that point when I showed that Machine and Soul album where I said I hated this. I almost gave it up with Gary Numan. I was just like, I don't know if I can listen to this guy anymore because it's so bad. But then he did Sacrifice and was like, oh, you're awake. Savage has an EP little sub album
Okay.
with It Will End Here, The Promise, and If We Had Known, and it's called The Fallen. Really good. That's fairly easy to find. And we got two more. Are we good? Then I can show some other junk. Whoops. Latest album outside of the live one is Intruder. I absolutely love that image.
Oh, I do like that.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Coming at you. And on the back too. I don't know who did the photography, but it's just stunning. What's on here that's really stand out? Ooh, it's hard to read. Betrayed is a great starter. I Am Screaming is fantastic. Saints and Liars. This is a good, strong one. I would say Newman has consistently done really strong albums for the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line. So he's
Can
one
you
of the few albums.
Can you answer Mark's question there?
Richard, I heard Newman worked with Reznor on Savage. The work I know that he did with Reznor, I don't know if it was on Savage, but I know that he collabed with Reznor to do some concerts, and they did kind of each other's songs a couple of times. Reznor covered Nine Inch Nails did a cover of Metal, an early Newman song. Okay. Really good too. But that's all I know about that one. And Steve, you know this album, so I don't even need to show it, do I?
No, but you can talk about it for the rest of the class.
For the rest of the class. Probably the best cover art for a live album I've seen in years. And definitely a retrospective of everything Newman's been doing for the last decade at least. But also, I mean, it goes in like his older stuff. I think Cards is on here. I think mandatory Cards has to be on a live album.
Sure, yeah.
But what I like about what he does, he adapts his older material to work with the newer material, so it has a heavy intro or a heavy edge to it that's kind of a twist on the original, and I appreciate that so much. So it doesn't sound like a disjointed thing, but there you go. The metal cover is awesome, and I agree. This is a super live album. It's a great sounding one too.
It is.
So that Psychedelic Furs Gary Numan tour. I was looking it up, and the Seattle show was last night.
Right.
Oh, shit! I'm so sorry.
Missed out on that one.
I'm going to show you my because I've got the CD version. Some of the worst packaging I've ever seen, because you can see here I've already torn it because it is so hard to get this disc out of here. And it's the same way with the second disc and with the Blu-ray. I'm probably just going to buy the album because I like it so much anyway. So,
yeah,
it's cool that you liked a live album that's coming out now, because nowadays live albums are not really a thing anymore, which is unfortunate. I can't think of a prominent live albums in the last 25 years, really.
The 1970s owned live albums.
Well, and 80s, there's some big ones
agree
too.
with that.
But this live albums are just not a thing anymore, which is unfortunate.
Totally.
Okay, so let's see your DVD or your book collection.
So and this is not all of them because we'd be here all night. But this is an interesting one because it was recorded in L.A. in a cemetery.
Oh wow!
What? Yeah, Here in the Black.
What is that?
At the Hollywood Forever Cemetery several years ago because it comes from that.
Here in the Black. Okay, yeah, I see.
Here in the Black DVD. It's pretty good. I think it's a DVD CD combo. DVD with 9 tracks and then double live CDs. I haven't played this in ages. I almost forgot I had it when I pulled it out today. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Good one.
So is it in the Hollywood cemetery or
the Hollywood Forever Cemetery? Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the one where all the stars are at, like you could almost take a tour of that and like, oh, there's dead so and so, and there's dead so and so. Yeah.
Yes, I've never been, so I don't know.
I think like, well, I know like half or most of the Ramones, if not all of them, are there. Ronnie James Dio, yeah, all kinds. It'd be really cool to see that.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm scrolling through here. All this Gary Numan stuff. He actually was on, and I didn't even know this guy had a show, the Leo Sayer Show. Have you ever come across this footage?
It's. I'm sure it's on YouTube. The two of them did on Broadway together.
On Broadway,
yeah. Lights are bright. Yeah.
Oh my God! Though I think you make me feel like dancing would be an awesome duet. Right?
I had no idea Leo Sayer had a show. My God.
Well, okay. Think back. Remember when I was telling you there was that kind of span where he was just kind of lost and just had no idea where his career was downward spiraling. That's where Leo Sayer showed up. That's where he did a collaboration with Bill Sharp called Automatic, which is a relatively terrible album. But a lot of people like it. And I'm like, okay.
See, I didn't know he was doing music. I thought there was like a long period where he was like doing like pilot stuff. Like he was flying.
There was that too. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
My rarest CD.
He's got a Gary Numan model airplane.
Not quite. But Gary Numan's a licensed British bomber pilot, and he's learned how to fly some really intricate aircraft. This is him flying that.
Oh wow!
And this CD, they did there is actually a VHS. It's probably on YouTube. It's called the Radio Pair, and he did air shows in all over England, flying these, and they would do tricks and crap. And yeah, this CD, last time I priced it on Discogs, it was stupid money, and it's just an EP of like sound snippets that ended up on Sacrifice over time. But it's quite good. There's a song on here called Red Heaven that I absolutely love. But anyway, what else? Oh, yes. I told you I saw him the first time in 1997 at the Philadelphia Theater for Living Arts. And the minute the man walked out on stage, I had my camera ready. It's one of those cheapo, throwaway 35mm jobs.
Things you get at a wedding, yeah.
Yeah. And that was the very first I took of him that night. I took many. This was the first one and the best one. And I had it blown up. And he said it for a couple of nights later.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very cool.
So not bad for a cheapo camera.
Were you living out in that area then?
I lived in DC at the time, so it was an easy slip. There was a whole mess of humanoid people that I knew that we went to Philly. We went to, not New York. Where else did we go? The DC show, obviously, because it was at the 930 Club. Then we did another show down in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I did 3 on that tour.
Little triangle there, yeah.
By that time, no, they knew us. We knew them. I was hanging out with Numan, met his parents, met his wife. Surprised they didn't bring the dog, So,
all right, you're the godfather of which daughter?
Yeah. Numan has 2 autobiographies. Bet you didn't know that.
I did know that. I read that earlier today. In fact, isn't it just the same thing? But there's a new version of it, or
I haven't finished the new one, but the first one is called Praying to the Aliens. This is the one I have read. It's quite good. Um, this came out in the late 90s, I believe. This is the new one called Revolution. And I've only read like about maybe that much because I keep getting distracted by other things like YouTube.
hard to
But
get distracted from your favorite artist.
I know. There are periods I don't play. I can go without playing Newman for ages. I don't know why, but it's kind of like always in there. I'll have it somewhere and be like, oh, I'm going to play that album or this song or sing this song or whatever.
All right, I'm going to have to settle for the paperback because you can't get the hardcover anymore.
It's worth it. I'm excited to see what's changed from this one because this was co-written by Steve Mullins, who pretty much I think interviewed him and then transcribed it onto being an autobiography. Where this I can really hear, you know how you read a book and it's a self-penned autobiography and you can hear the person talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this has been for me so far. And I'm just like, yeah, this is in Newman's own words.
I will receive it on Tuesday.
There you go. This is I don't even know if you could find this anymore, but it's a neat little kind of overview of like everything that was released up to that point in time. So we'll have like, oh look, here's the T-shirt from that tour. Oh look, here's
wow, okay,
yeah, this single, my rating, blah blah blah. It's not bad. I can't say I've referenced it in years because I'm one of those people I'd rather form my own opinion about something than hear someone else. So talk about it. It's like, yeah. Sometimes it confirms, like, oh yeah, Machine and Soul really is a crap record. Got it. So, nice to know. Then there are some comps out there. There aren't a whole lot of them. There's like some best ofs. This one's called Exhibition. I only have it on CD. It's a double CD. Pretty much everything up to about 1990 ish. And I believe that's all I have to play with Show and Tell. How did I do?
Very well.
Very well.
Okay, so like I said earlier, he has 29 official live albums. Do you have all of them?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay.
Yeah. There are a lot of double ones, and Scarred is a good one. I couldn't. You'd have to like go down the list. Like, yeah, I have that one, that one, that one. White Noise, I have. Skin Mechanic, I have. Yeah. Are they worth it for me? I like live albums. I don't particularly love them. So for me, I think it was just picking them up as a collector and play them once or twice, and then kind of end up in the shelf.
Yeah. Well, when it's your favorite artist, I mean, you're compelled.
This last tour, people were going, Gary Numan's lip syncing that. I'm like, no, there's no way. The man can't sing that great to begin with because he has this kind of raspy voice. And no, you're not going to lip sync. No.
Well, Motley Crue's doing it, but
yeah.
Oh well.
There's already video proof of them, like not even close, and it's crappy it's crappy pre-recorded singing.
Oh, I mean, one of the channels I love on YouTube is the Wings of Pegasus when he breaks down. You ever watch any of his stuff? Oh, I mean, because he's a very skilled musician and music teacher, and he will show in digital format what is happening, but then what shows up on the recorded version. Okay, and it shows definitely that the vocals are being doctored. You should check out his stuff.
Okay.
Here's my John. Sorry if I missed it. Are you trying to be a completist with Newman? If yes, what is the most expensive hurdle?
Yeah, what was the most expensive hurdle?
Yeah.
How about one of the things I don't have is one of the DVDs I didn't show. Is this it? No. This one, okay. This is Gary Numan did a thing at, where is it? Bridgewater Hall in Manchester, and it was a live DVD. They did a 3 album record store day issue in England, and I could not find it anywhere. So I do not have the live version of this one.
Okay.
That's about it that I could think of. But most expensive ones that I've have picked up have been like over $100, mostly because of shipping. Now, it might be a $60 record, but shipping is like 40. So
Right. Yeah. If you're buying it from out of the States, yeah.
right, yeah, because I mean half the stuff only got issued in England. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing a limited edition, whatever reissue of demos from the Pleasure Principle album, which I do. I have replicas one, and those were pricey too.
Mm-hmm.
But you do what you do when you're a collector, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, what was it that you and Chris were talking about the other day? About it was cheaper to buy something straight from England than it was from Amazon. There is some. I mean, obviously, this is a title by title situation.
Right.
But
What was that? Which one was that?
that you guys were talking
You
about.
remember?
Yeah, he was. Chris was talking about like some of the things that he bought recently. That if he ordered something from Amazon UK, they would mark it up because of duties and import fees and all that crap, and then pass it on to the consumer. He could order it directly from Amazon, or Bandcamp or something, and get it cheaper than he could from England. Which I was like, wow, that's harsh.
Yeah, because usually any of the Amazons, most of the time, especially if you, well, I know Steve and I'm assuming you, Richard, have Prime. So usually, if you click that tab saying Prime, you're going to get the most direct thing. And and we all know how Amazon works with their distribution centers all over the
Right.
country. It's just easier to do that. But and I'm assuming that's what goes on in the UK and Europe. But yeah, you would think that they would have something there.
You
In
think
their
they'd have a system that was better than what it is? I just remember it used to be so that cheap, but it wasn't extortionate to buy a pile of CDs from some record store in London and have it shipped to my house, and I didn't feel like I was getting my bank account torn to shreds. Where
Right.
that's how it feels now, and it's like, whew.
Right.
All right. Twinger's got a question here for you.
Yes, I have. That's actually very interesting. Android and La La Land. I think it was on Amazon at one time. I don't know if it is, or it might have been on Netflix when I had it. It's a good documentary. It actually digs kind of into the personal side of back looking, back behind in Newman Land. It's quite good. His house in LA is stunning. It's very goth, castle like thing. It's really cool.
It's on Tubi, so that's cool.
Oh, okay. How many times have you seen him live?
I have seen Newman live. Oh my gosh, many. I would say at least 9 or 10 times,
Now,
give or take.
is that the most of any artist you've seen live?
It would probably tie with Bob Mould.
Okay.
And possibly you too. I've seen them a lot of times too. Newman is more accessible now because he lives in the States, so he's touring the States a little bit more often. So yeah, I've seen him more in the last 10 years than I probably have in the previous 20.
Yeah, I remember. I want to say it was like 2010, 2011, shortly after we moved here. Yeah, Gary was playing on Halloween here.
Ooh,
that would have been cool.
Spooky,
right? Yeah, I mean,
audience all decked out.
Well, especially like you said, in the last, say, 20 years, he's been 20, 25 years. He's kind of not really embraced, but infused a lot of that harsher industrial sound into his music.
Yeah.
And
It's like goth industrial would be what I would call it, because the themes
right.
are dark and there's always talking about death and not believing in Jesus and that and this. But yeah, it's like goth industrial.
See it.
So Mark is upset that his daughter, he can't live his life vicariously through his daughter.
She would do it for me though.
The only show I can ever remember seeing on Halloween was Alex Harvey Band and the Tubes.
That'd be fun.
I saw in '87. It was my first time seeing Alice Cooper on Halloween night, and it was supposed to be a tradition, which only lasted 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems to always play London now on Halloween.
Yeah, well, he was doing LA for a while too, and then I remember seeing Primus on the Brown album '97, and did like the whole after show thing. This was before his meet and greet. I was working at the record store. You get those little frills. So it's Halloween night. I'm dressed up as a nun, and I'm on on the stage to do the meet and greet thing, and I'm going up to Les, and he's like, "Hey, sister," and I'm like, "What? Oh, okay, I forgot that I was dressed up as a nun." So, but yeah, Halloween's fun for shows because you can kind of get dressed up and have a good time. It's like a big Halloween party.
Seeing Alice Cooper on Halloween, that would be trippy as hell.
Yeah, that was on the Raise Your Fist and Yell tour. So it was like that short period where he had Robert Kane on guitar, the guy that like looked like Rambo,
right?
Yeah, big bodybuilder guy.
Kane Roberts,
yeah, Kane Roberts. Sorry, I got word.
I saw him play with Alice on one of the times I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was he didn't do the guillotine. He did the hanging that time. So that was kind of cool to see that.
So Intruder is his last proper studio album that he's released, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're coming up on 5 years now. That's a long stretch for him.
He's working on new stuff, but yeah, Intruder's the last one.
Scrolling through his discography, that looks like his longest gap ever.
It wouldn't surprise me. It's I don't know. I just think he's getting more meticulous, or he's just getting older. I know he's having hearing issues, stuff like that. So there could be a lot of behind the scenes. He has a lot of projects going on. They're trying to remix some of those earlier albums, like I said, like Sacrifice. Dying for them to remix or remaster Sacrifice. It's such a good album.
I can see here they show after Intruder, they show Exile reissued, Two Boy Army reissued. This
I just bought that the other week.
I have. This is expanded and reissued. Oh, this just came out this year, 2025.
Yeah, it came out a few months ago.
He's what, like, how old is he now?
62, I think.
Yeah, 62, 63, I think.
Okay, and I've seen footage of him in recent times live. I mean, he's getting up there in what I would say, because in the same kind of age bracket, he's almost like an Iggy style of, like, he's a lot more energetic now than he was back when, like, you saw that footage of what you brought up earlier, seeing him doing Down in the Park. He's in the little car, which that is actually, if it's what I think it is, it's from that concert film called A Music War.
Yes, Music War. That's Mark exactly what.
Oh, actually, he's 67. Sorry, 67. Mark.
Okay, wow. Yeah, the man puts a lot of energy into his shows, and I'm like, where are you getting this energy?
Right, exactly. I mean, it makes me feel like a fucking slug, when I see him,
I have a hard time getting down on my knees to get records from the bottom shelf and standing back up without hurting myself. So
Sam is in the house. I can guarantee you Sam does not own Gary Numan.
Oh, Sam loves Gary Numan. He thinks he's great.
No, I'm quite sure. Quite sure Sam does not have any. Sam, did you see my most recent video where I express my love of Paul Simon. Maybe not.
That Paul Simon box set looked awesome. I was like, ooh, I want that.
Yes, it's a nice box set. Just God,
So weird.
the music. I just. Oh.
So, and your dental plan covered that? You said no. I'm just kidding.
No, my dental plan didn't cover it, but
Darn. Covered your deductible, I hope. Jeez.
because of the trip to the dentist that I got it. It's actually it's strange. It's a record store within. It's a record store that rents out space at a bookstore.
Okay.
And, so I'll go there every once in a while. They just rent out floor space, and they used to only have a small part of the store. Now they see. Seems to me they have about a third of the floor space of the bookstore. They've really expanded their
Cool.
floor print there, and actually, it's a perfect record store for Emma to stop in whenever she's up this way, because it's called Cheap Kiss Records.
So her and Dylan should show up.
Busy watching bad NFL games. Oh,
I don't know. The 2 hour watching, they turned out pretty good.
Well, I know the Lions. I know the Lions killed the Bears. I flipped
Yes.
that. And what was the other game for you? Oh, the Seahawks must have won.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it make? I mean, because with the Lions being an NFC team, does it make it easier for? Are Seahawks still in the AFC? I don't even know. It's been so long since I followed football.
I don't go that deep. I'm such a surface football fan. It's just,
And I'm less so.
I mean, I've been watching football for about less than 15 years.
Wow.
I mean, that's how new of a fan I am. That being from moving to a new city, and when you're dealing with a lot of different customers, two safe topics are
right
weather and sports.
Right. Yeah.
And it was right when Russell Wilson was brand new in the city, and everyone's hyped up, and so
right.
I'll check out a game.
You had Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman.
Yeah, and I had no social circle at the time, so I'm like, well, okay, I could watch a football game. I actually enjoyed it, and I was able to talk to people about this stuff, and I kind of got clicked in. But I'm still pretty surface fan. I'm actually going to my very first game in November, so I'm looking forward to that. Should be fun.
For 22 years in Denver, I've been to 2 Broncos games, and that's it.
Speaking of, I remember that Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Well, thing there, Sean, yeah, I mean, most people don't make it to 89 or 90, so they can't put out an album. But good on him if he can.
Right?
I mean, Buddy Guy's right in my backyard, but I've never seen him live. Only old times blues guy I ever saw was Muddy Water. I saw him open for Clapton. Back in like 70. It was a slow hand tour, so that had to be 77. So.
There was a Detroit blues guy named Robert Bradley, not to be confused with Charles Bradley, that was known a few years ago. But I call him, typical blind blues guy. Sounded awesome. But yeah, the blues scene I never really got into. Not saying it's bad. Not that I don't like it, just never really got into it.
I just don't normally like that old blues like that.
Yeah.
I need my blues to be a little more contemporary, but not like, I mean, when I say contemporary, I mean like Johnny Winter or, that kind of blues. I'm not talking like Robert Cray or Joe Bonamassa, that kind of blues. Twanger is heading out. Grandkids wore him out this weekend.
Hey, again, Mark, thank you so much for that Metallica and the Sweet record. That was Very, very cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's sweet album. That's a very good album.
Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, you might want to put that through your cleaner, and I'm like, I played it, clean as a whistle.
Cool.
Sounded great.
Yeah, that's one of those ones I can remember when that came out. I can remember working a job doing landscaping, and it seemed like every time we got in the truck to go to the next stop, you would hear Ballroom Blitz or Fox on the Run.
And I didn't even name Ballroom Blitz because the way it was on the label, it's above the title of the
Oh,
record. That's where I started with 16s on there. And I'm like, but yeah, it was a great record. Sounded great. I mean, I knew probably almost half of that record because on that best of suite, or the one that's real popular.
right.
Half that album's on there. So, and plus, with the U.S. version, that's actually almost a compilation of like
Yeah,
some EPs or something.
right. So,
And
Richard,
Mark, I hope you do a jump on that thread. PC31 just did a response to that. I'm like, you just got back to the VC, and you're just I was excited to see that.
yeah, I was glad he came back. He was
Yeah,
sorely missed.
yeah, absolutely missed. I really enjoyed his stuff. I'm glad he's back. Yeah, he's another one that needs to hop on with
Right.
David to come on over next
Yeah,
year.
no kidding. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So you're definitely a go for 2026, Richard.
I'm going to try. I mean,
Yeah.
they've set the dates in stone. I will try and look at booking something sooner than later.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm gonna
hope so.
I'm gonna drive this time instead of flying. Mainly because I'm trying to bring. I'm guessing I'm gonna bring maybe 400 albums,
Ooh.
maybe 400 CDs to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So figured that's a good place to do it.
Oh yeah, like I said, I got dibs on that Sex Pistols. I almost gone for that Rhino Hi-Fi, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna.
Do you need that to be hi-fi?
Well, I got the Stooges on Rhino
Yeah.
Hi-Fi, and I mean, does that really need it? But I
Yeah.
bought it anyway. It sounds amazing, but it that album, I think it probably it would be just as great. Just
Save yourself the money, Trevor. Spoiler alert. I actually shipped that to you yesterday.
oh, thank you. Yeah, that was the other thing. I'm like, if I knew I'm going to be, getting that, buying it or whatever from you, that would be a
Here,
$40 of, you know.
yeah, let me show you here. Here is my tracking receipt from you.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I'll ahead of time. Thank you very much, because I mean that is. I know you dog on that record, but for me, when
Just
I mean, I knew of the Sex Pistols even when they were still, and I'll use the word
Yeah.
very loosely, a functioning band at
yeah,
the time. I mean, I was real little, but I was still into music, reading Rolling Stone out of my uncle's pile of magazines. Um, but I didn't get into it in high school when I got into the whole thrash thing, and the thrash guys were into punk stuff, so I started exploring that stuff. And yeah, that one album meant so much to me. So
yeah. I think it shows it delivers the 20th,
okay, well, thank you.
which is next Saturday. Are you a big punk fan, Richard?
Me?
Yeah.
I dabble. I would say I've gone through phases. I have stuff like Descendants and Sex Pistols, but what I've found is that I feel like I missed out on a lot of the UK punk scene, which I find much more interesting personally than the LA and New York punk scene. So now, like, because of the VC, kind of like my whole thread thing, people, like Mike Vinyl Spiral will show some obscure punk thing from 1979 that I was like, who the hell is that? And then I have to hunt it down and find out it's really good, and it was never
Yeah.
released here.
It's the same way for progressive rock. I mean, the UK stuff is where you go to. Forget the American progressive rock bands. Yeah, there's a couple that you may like, but they've got us beaten big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the punk stuff, I mean, because a lot of it later, and the stuff that I liked at least, later was known as hardcore. It wasn't
Yeah.
known that at the time. Bands like these, Circle Jerks, which I honestly, I'll be truthful, I didn't really get into these guys till about 5 years ago.
Same
I
thing.
mean, I heard a song here and there. I mean, hell, even bands like Negative Approach that I'm going to be seeing these guys with, you know, again, knew of them, knew a song here and there, but I didn't really get into them until my buddy started playing drums for them. Then I
Oh,
got,
gee.
and they're kind of like a Sex Pistols thing where they got like one full record and a EP on a 7-inch, and that's it. And but that's the great thing about music. It's there. You could discover it anytime. I mean, are you late to the party? In one aspect, some of these guys don't exist anymore, but
Right.
their legacy still lives on. The music's still there, and there's nothing wrong with getting into it late. So,
Absolutely.
it's,
Yeah, I mean, another genre that was just like that too was the UK had glam rock cornered.
mm-hmm.
In the US, you know who you had? You had the New York Dolls.
And full stop. That's it.
That was it.
Yeah, well, you were there, Steve. I mean, Kiss. I mean, were they kind of thrown in that a little bit or described a little bit?
No, I don't remember them ever being considered glam rock. They were thrown into shock rock with Alice Cooper, and
Okay.
yeah, they didn't get thrown into that genre.
I mean, I'm sure there were glam bands, but they just didn't make it outside of their little
I mean,
region.
and the New York Dolls barely made it. I mean, they were 2 albums and done, So
Right.
I love both of those albums, but yeah, I mean, it's nothing like T-Rex and Slade and Bowie and.
I just did. And, Slade tried to break the states. I just couldn't break the states,
No.
and for whatever reason.
I mean, they didn't break the states until MTV, and
Yeah.
Exactly.
they were a pretty different band by that point.
Yeah. I mean, because the only time I heard of them, not even actually hearing them, I didn't even know "Come On Feel the Noise" was a Slade song or another band.
You knew it from Quiet Riot,
right? And then the following year was "Run Runaway," and that's the first time I actually heard the band. That's an album.
Yeah, Runaway is very different from older Slade. So
yeah, and I love that song too.
I love it.
I mean, I got it. Was it "Hands Off My Power Supply" or something like that?
Your Hands Off My Power Supply.
Yeah, I gotta find that. I'm sure that's probably an easy one.
That's pretty easy to find in the bins. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I've come across it a number of times. I mean, I think I have their entire discography, but I've probably got about, I'm guessing maybe 10 of them on vinyl, but I know I have everything between vinyl and CD.
Well, aside from that album, and I'm pretty sure that there is one, but like a 12-inch remix of "Run Runaway."
I'm sure there is, because that just cries out for reworking those drums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's a whole thing is all drum machine.
Yeah.
Great stuff. See, this is what I like. We have our guest do the lion's share of the show, and then the rest of it we just kind of riff.
Yeah, whatever comes up next. You got any concerts going to, Richard?
Nothing coming up. I'm still on the fence about the Numan Cyphers thing. There's a couple of like obscure bands that I'm like, ooh, that might be fun to go see. But nothing. I haven't been to a concert in ages, and it's not for lack of. Yeah, it is for lack of wanting to go, because it's usually like, it doesn't start till 9. I got to go all the way downtown. Blah blah blah.
Right.
That's a big part of it.
What size venue is that Numan show at?
That show is going to be at the Fillmore here. It's like a few thousand, 2,000, 3.
Here,
Mostly stand.
Here it's at the Chicago Auditorium, which is the best sounding venue in Chicago.
Ooh, that would be good then.
And that's, I think, like 3,500.
Yeah. I've been to shows at the Fillmore. They usually do. I saw Bowie at the Fillmore. So,
Catherine.
Hi, neighbor, up north neighbor.
Oh yeah. Catherine's not far from you.
Yeah, well, probably a good hour and a half north of me.
Well, that's closer than I am to Richard.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I will soon be. Well, no, I won't be on your time zone, Richard. Will I?
You know, Arizona has its own time zone.
Arizona never changes.
Turn their clocks.
Yeah, Arizona never changes. So you're on
Right.
Mountain, right?
Right.
So you're just an hour behind me right now.
Yeah.
An hour
Exactly.
ahead of Trevor. So I'll be glad to be in Arizona where I won't have to dick around with daylight savings time.
Yeah,
Oh, changing clocks and all that crap sucks.
I'm still baffled that still hasn't like been kiboshed at this point in time. There's no reason for it whatsoever. I mean, and there's been numerous statistics and scientific proof that it's bad for the human condition. So
yeah, I think I even told you that I don't know if that was last week we were on.
Yeah, Catherine, that was actually last night. I looked it up. I don't know which showbox it was. It was either Soto or the Market, because I know there was another show going on last night that I actually wanted to go, not so much for the headliner, which was the Viagra Boys, but I wanted to see the opening act, Dice Spitz, which is just this amazing group that I've been really listening to a lot lately.
I almost got tickets to Viagra Boys with Turnstile. That would have been so fun.
Wow. Yeah, that would have been But I checked out some of the Viagra Boys, and I don't. I was listening to the latest one. It just didn't click with me. Maybe I'll have to listen to some other.
What kind of music is that?
It's labeled punk, but it almost sounded. It reminded me of like.
Doesn't it have to be post punk since it came out? Post punk.
You and Gary can just stop that. No, to me, the record I listened to, it reminded me, and Richard might be familiar with the band Electric Six.
I've heard of them.
Okay, you probably heard Danger High Voltage, and Gay Bar. Those are like their two big hits. Yeah. But it kind of reminded me of that. So I'm like, when I hear the term punk, I kind of already have a set sound to it, which is totally hypocritical of what I think of old punk. Because old punk to me there was a lot of variety to it, and now punk is kind of, in a box, and maybe it's a good thing. You don't sound like
it seems to me punk now has a continuum that it's like, well, it's kind of punk, but it's kind of ambient, and it's kind of loud, and it's kind of Turnstile. I can't call Turnstile punk, but they're a punk band. Are they though?
From what I remember hearing, there was more like hardcore, if anything. But
kind of like hardcore-ish, but it's hardcore light. It's not terribly in your face.
I remember you like kind of getting intrigued when I gave you the description for Dice Spitz of like this new album they got. It reminds me if Hole recorded an album with shoegaze production.
Yes. I'm like, ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be all over that.
I know the name Erasure. To me, in my mind,
90s.
To me, in my mind, I'm thinking they're somewhere along the line of like Human League. Are they like kind of in that vein?
Yeah. Very, very synth pop.
Okay.
But Andy Bell, I don't know if Andy Bell's solo work is quite that erasure-y, but I haven't heard it. I used to like Erasure back in the day.
Where's that going to be at, Catherine? Not that I'm probably going to go, but I'm always curious of where bands are playing or artists are playing, especially in the Seattle area.
I don't have anything. I guess my next concert will be seeing the Musical Box, who is the Genesis tribute band. They only do Peter Gabriel era Genesis. They're going to be doing, I think, Selling England by the Pound.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's another catalog I'm gonna.
Yeah, what did you
Sean.
get? Thanks, Sean. I remember you showing something. What was it? Was it Nursery Crime or?
No, I got Foxtrot
Oh, okay.
in Buffalo. Actually, I bought Foxtrot and self-titled at Black Dots.
So, all right. Well, self-titled, you knew enough of from the
Oh
radio.
yeah, I mean I've had that on CD, and
Yeah.
that's another one where you
So,
know half of it already when you buy it. And
Foxtrot. How much have you listened to Foxtrot?
I listened to it twice. I mean, I already knew Watcher in the Skies, and because that was on a compilation I had.
Yeah.
And everyone it goes off about Supper's Ready, which I still have yet to, like, no pun intended, digest that.
Yeah.
But um, now, what is it? Selling England by the Pound or Nursery Crimes that has I Know What I Like? The And I like
I don't
what
know
I know.
because all three of those albums kind of blend in together for me.
Right.
It took me a long time to get into Genesis.
But that's probably the next one I want to get, because that song in particular I love.
Oh, I love the song. I know what I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
When
what
I got
I know what I like is on Selling England by the Pound.
okay. Um, yeah, because that I first heard I when I worked at Harmony House, and we were the only Harmony House that took in used CDs, because not a lot of people brought in used vinyl, but we brought in used CDs, and someone brought in a Japanese greatest hits of
Oh,
Genesis.
geez.
Yeah. So it was like all encompassing. It was a single disc, so it wasn't super full, but it had all the songs I knew on there, plus the Peter Gabriel stuff. And that song in particular really stood out for me. I really dug that one.
Yeah, it wasn't until Trick of the Tail and Wind and Wuthering that I became a Genesis fan.
Okay.
And then even after that, I only went forward. I didn't go back because I remember, like in 72, 73, reading in either Cream or Circus a review on, I think it was Nursery Crime.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought it, came home, put it on. I was like, oh, this absolutely sucks. I mean, 16-year-old Steve did not want to hear that, because at this point I'm playing in a band and listening to nothing but Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and Uriah Heep and Led Zeppelin. That's my jam.
Mm-hmm.
And because even though I liked some prog rock at that point, I already liked Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but this was a little different. This was very extreme.
Okay.
So it wasn't until 2007 when they got back for their reunion and they did that whole documentary and they put out a big book, and I bought the book because I'll normally read a book about any band that I even have any remote interest in. And so I bought the book, but I like to have the discography to listen to as I'm reading the book. So that's when I started buying all the older stuff. And yeah, so I've only had those albums for, between 15 and 20 years.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh, here's Catherine with your answer. Showbox at.
Oh, okay, yeah, at the market there. Yeah, that is a great venue. That's the one. I'm going to give spoiler alert for the spoiler alert. Okay, earlier today I was on. We recorded with the Rock City Kitty people, Emma and Dylan. We were reviewing Spinal Tap 2,
Oh, fun.
and I don't know. I don't know. I know Steve hasn't seen it. Richard, have you seen it? Okay. One of the things, and I think it's in a preview or something, but they're trying to, get drummers to join for this one show, and one of them is Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers.
He's really.
So it was a twofold thing that I enjoyed that little scene because Chad Smith was at one point a Detroit drummer. He played in the local Detroit scene before joining the Chili Peppers. But he was wearing a shirt. On the shirt it said "Save the Showbox," which was a movement to save the venue that Catherine brought up. It's in historical downtown Seattle, right across from the world famous Pike Place Market, and they were gonna condemn it to put in condos. And this place has been around since like the 20s or 30s. It's been there forever, and thankfully, it became a registered historic site. Oops, just knocked my microphone over. But yeah, now it's registered and it's saved, and yeah. But I mean, one of the best sounding shows I went to was there. I saw Ghost about 10 years ago there, and I'm up by the barricade, and this is kind of in that technology where they're not putting amps on stage anymore. Everything is going through the system because they got the in-ears. They don't need the monitors on stage. I'm at the barricade and I could hear the vocalist.
Jeez.
Which is unusual. The sound was so good that as I'm leaving, I go to the front of house guy, the guy that you see in the middle of the floor with all the, the soundboard. I thanked him. How good it was. And yeah, that place only holds like about 800 people. So, it's intimate, sounds fantastic. So yeah, it's a great venue.
It's almost like I've found it's like the smaller the venue, the better the sound. The bigger the venue, it just sounds like just.
If it's small, it should sound good. Yes.
Yeah.
Because echo is not a factor.
Yeah. Well, that's why I hate stadium gigs, even though I've gone to 2 in the last year.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot whether a stadium gig's going to have decent sound. It all depends on where you are in the place.
True, yeah, because it's no longer around, but the Pontiac Silverdome was notorious for sounding completely awful unless you're on the floor within like the first 50, 60 rows, and you got the sound coming at you. But if you're beyond that, it's just a echo chamber. Yeah, if you're towards the back, I remember seeing Paul McCartney towards the back, and the Doppler effect was awful.
Oh, jeez.
Because like prime example was like "Live or Let Die." You got the "Live and Let Die," and it was just like you got the pyro. It's just like so. It was like "Live and Let Die." You saw, and then you heard, afterwards.
Wow. Yeah.
But,
all right. Well, let's wrap this up. And thank you, everybody, for stopping by, commenting. Richard, thank you for joining us.
It's very good to be here.
Spoiler alert. Next time, Trevor and I are going to be having Sam St. John on. He's going to be showing all his albums by brothers. He'll be showing his entire Wood Brothers, Allman Brothers.
Wow.
You name it. If there's a brother in it, he's going to show it.
We might even have the Osmond brothers in there.
Actually, we're going to start at noon and hope to wrap up by midnight.
Yeah, Osmond Brothers.
It's going to be
Doobie Brothers,
Isley Brothers.
Yeah. Now, because could he do Brothers Johnson, even though it's like worded different?
If Brothers is in it,
okay,
they're good. They're good. So, all right. Well, hang on, Richard, because I'm just going to end this and we can chat once.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
So.